Welcome back, friends, to the next episode of the Zephcast, the show where we get to know all your favorite content creators, streamers, creative minds alike. I'm your host, ZephyrsXP, and with us tonight is my awesome friend, IceBeams. Thank you so much for being here, my man. How you doing tonight?
Oh, of course, absolutely. I'm doing great. It's more along the lines of I'm doing fantastic, and I hope you are too.
Dude, I'm feeling good. I'm happy you're feeling good. That makes me super happy to hear, dude. How's your day been? Everything been going pretty good?
To be honest, with I moved recently, and that was pretty big change. Like moving to a town that I've never been, moving to a place that I don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of still figuring stuff out, even though I've been here for a month.
Yeah.
So
in North Dakota, right?
Yeah, North Dakota.
North Dakota. I have an uncle who lives in North Dakota, and he's like sent me photos and stuff. It's beautiful in its own way, but looks freezing ass cold.
Here, actually, let me get you a specific. I was looking at the weather today.
Like 14 degrees, probably, right?
I mean, at the end of March, it's 22 right now.
Ooh.
And it's just been windy. Like no rain, no snow. It's just been straight wind.
Just
and I'm
cold.
Not fan.
Yeah, here it's like it was like sunny and it was like 55, 60 today. It was kind of nice today. Good old. Do you miss Washington?
Oh yeah, I'll be back in 5 months for sure.
Yeah, Washington is beautiful. It really is like a really special state. So no pun intended, but we usually do start the podcast with a icebreaker question. It's a question for you. If you had to spend a day as a fish or a bird, which would you choose and why? You
know what? As much as I love the ocean, not a fan of sharks. It would have to be a bird, man. It would have to be a bird.
Even flying like next to airplanes and stuff?
If I was conscious enough to know what an airplane was at that point, yeah.
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 We were wifey and I, we have like an Apple TV in our living room, and it like showcases little like wallpapers or like screensavers or whatever. And there was
just
one
random photos people take.
Yeah, like drone shots or like cool underwater shots. And one we saw yesterday, I think, was like an underwater scene with like dolphins swimming. And I asked her, I'm like, do you think it'd be terrifying? Just kind of, it's like the reverse of being on land, you know, because like you're at the top and there's so much below you. It'd be terrifying if like a shark came out and just decided to eat you, or
anything shark. Yes, whale. Terrifying. Just absolutely terrifying. Yeah. Whales are gentle giants.
You think so?
That's okay. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
If Lapras was an actual animal, what would Lapras be?
Oh shoot.
Kind of like a whale-ish, right? But not really.
You know what? I'm gonna say more along the lines of a turtle mixed with a giraffe.
Turtle. Ooh, and a giraffe? Like a sea turtle. A sea giraffe.
You know? Yeah, roughly.
Man, Lapras is probably my favorite Pokemon, or Dragonite. They're both pretty awesome.
Now you're just appealing to me and Lolly here. Come on.
No, seriously. Like so wifey and I spent so much time years ago playing Pokemon Go. Like I probably should have just started streaming then.
Okay.
But
I've got a not nasty, but like I've got a Pokemon Go story that is just, I don't know, wild to me. But
Go for it.
All right. So when Pokemon Go first dropped, I was literally one of the first people to download it, as far as I'm aware. I caught it like, I don't know, 5 minutes after it released. And I was out there showing everybody. I'm like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Yeah. And, you know, eventually I'm going out every night, like spending like the hours of like, I don't know, 10 p.m. to like 7 a.m. just
hunting.
Yeah, hunting. And, you know, I met some really cool friends that way, which is fantastic because we all lived to do it. We all went out at the same time. At that time, I lived in Arizona, so the nighttime was still, I don't know, like 90 degrees.
Not freezing cold?
No, like still kind of boiling hot.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
crazy.
good enough. But eventually, like, you know, I'm out one night by myself because some of my friends, they're all busy and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, whatever, that's cool. And I know I was cool with it. It was actually the best shape of my life I've ever been in.
Yeah.
Was because I was traveling literally from city to city on a longboard.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. I was literally going miles and miles and miles and miles, and eventually I was riding through the park one night. What I remember as a completely flat surface, and you know, as most concrete sidewalks are, there are the little divots in between slabs.
Oh no.
So I'm going through a park, and I get all super excited because a drowsy pops up, and I hadn't seen one yet.
Sure.
I'm like, gotta get this.
Yeah.
So I'm going. I'm catching. I'm still riding at this point. I haven't stopped. And as like I'm about to throw the Pokeball on the screen, I hit something. I looked back and there was nothing there after, but I hit something and I ended up flying forward. And I landed on my left side.
Oh no.
And my arm went this way and the rest of my body went this way. And the muscle right here just separated.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah, so I actually have pictures and whatnot.
I think I've seen it. I think you might have showed us.
Yeah?
I think so.
I may have, but yeah, I separated my shoulder that way playing Pokemon Go. But literally the first thing I did was I'm writhing in pain. My shoulder's somewhat bloody. Because I was in a tank top, so like it was literally just skin to pavement at that point.
Oh god.
And but the first thing I do is I catch the drowsy.
Of course.
The second thing I do is I call out of work for the next day. Because I'm like, there's no way, like something's wrong.
Right.
And the third thing I do is like I call as many people as I can to be like, hey, I need help. Yeah. I ended up having to walk another mile back to my apartment at the time, and one of my neighbors ended up taking me to the hospital.
Oh man.
Because like I cannot move my shoulder at this point. Like there's visible marks, and it's so yeah, that's my fun Pokemon Go story.
Dude, that sounds extremely painful. Did that stop you from playing Pokemon Go right there, or did you kind of just keep playing after that?
For about a week. Mm-hmm. It took a month to heal.
Yeah.
But for about a week, I didn't. But even at a sling, like my arm just. I'm still out there riding on a longboard, trying to catch Pokemon with one hand. I'm
dedication.
Not gonna stop me. Gamer's gonna game, man.
Dude, gamer's gonna game. Hell yeah, man. Dude, that's insane. We did a lot of Pokemon Go, but we did it where like wifey would kind of hold both phones while I would like slow drive around. So we were more like the drivers. We'd get out a lot and like walk around and stuff, but a lot of our like best ones were kind of like driving around slowly. We had this like tracker on our iPad where we could like press an area and it would like scan it, and we would like go hunting for like Snorlaxes and Dratinis and Dragonites and stuff.
Okay, see how I found out about places is I joined a Pokemon or a Facebook group.
Yes, same.
And then there are people like posting locations of, hey, this is what's popping up here, this is what's popping up here.
Right.
And you know, hearing about it, I think they only lasted for what, like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
So like when you hear about something,
you gotta
like,
go.
It's like a rare one. Yeah, everybody's like, I'm there.
Right.
And this is back where like only a couple people could catch it at once, rather than like it's there for everybody.
Yeah.
So people are just flocking to these places like parks, waterways, because in Arizona waterways we didn't find any water Pokemon, like damn near none.
Right, because they were like geography based, right?
Yeah, tons of fire Pokemon, tons and tons of fire Pokemon. No lie, out in the desert, fire and ground types. That's like mainly the things I found.
Dude, it was like the opposite here. Like we had so many like Squirtles and like Dratinis and stuff, and there was like no Charmanders at all. Charmanders were so hard to find.
There's a mountain that overlooks ASU in Tempe, Arizona, and literally that mountain, it was renamed from A Mountain for like ASU Mountain to Charmander Mountain, because that's literally the only thing that would spawn there, like at all times of the day. And people, I don't know, I was the most people I've ever seen up there, because like I'd gone up there previously, but you know, just Charmander everywhere.
Man, that was yeah. Dude, that was so much fun. Like right in the very beginning of Pokemon, like just going out, and did you see like just hordes of people all on their phone, all spinning like balls on their phone? Like
I was a part of that horde.
Yeah, dude, it was so much fun. And it's kind of weird thinking about that now, like because of COVID and like I guess how close everyone was, and I don't know.
No, people would flip their lids if it happened now.
Oh yeah, like people would be crazy about it now. Man, those are such fun times. Pokemon Go is fun. It's kind of like a different game now. Have you played it recently?
Every day.
Oh, every day. Oh, okay. How what gen are they up to now? Gen 4?
5.
5.
They just released 5 some time ago. I don't like check on the updates, but yeah, 5 came out just a little bit ago.
When we were playing, there was this YouTuber we used to watch all the time called, did you ever watch Trainer Tips on YouTube?
Can't say that I did, but people probably showed me.
Yeah, he did a lot of like Pokemon Go like vlog style things, and we're like trying to do something like that in the very beginning. It was kind of like when I was first kind of trying to figure out YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, that was people like legitimately you can play Pokemon Go from home now, right? You don't have to necessarily go out.
Okay, so here's the stipulation with that. There are people who live next to the Pokestops, and they can just spin those for Pokeballs.
Right, all day.
Right, and then there are people like me who don't. So the way I do it from home is I send gifts to people back and forth.
Oh, sure,
so I get Pokeballs that way. But, you know, if you only got 5 or 6 friends, you're only going to get so many a day.
Right. You can like trade Pokemon now, right? That's the thing?
Yeah, you can trade online, you can battle online. Like, you don't need to be close to anybody anymore.
It's like totally different.
Yeah, totally different. Actually, the one funny thing I did hear about it is I heard a story about somebody going on like a cruise.
Yeah?
Like a cruise liner. And they were playing Pokemon Go.
In the middle of the ocean?
Yeah, but because there was no like geographical technically area there that, you know, the game actually mapped, because, you know, they probably mapped all the land mass, they probably didn't map the ocean.
Right.
Random things would pop up, and because the cruise liner isn't going at a fast speed at all, it's just kind of
cruising.
Things would pop up all the time without it saying, hey, you're going too fast.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like what? Like Snorlax pops out in the middle of the ocean, or?
I heard stories of everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Because they didn't have anything specific out there, so like anything popped.
Right. Dude, that'd be super cool. That'd be fun to, because there's a way you can kind of like emulate it, right? To where you can like go forward and back like on your phone, kind of like hack it.
I know there is, but I'm not sure how to do that. Just because I've always been a gamer who plays by the rules. Like, I play the game for the game. I don't try to, you know,
hack it or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to have the fun that they give me. And only when I've, you know, just beaten the ever-loving everything out of it, that I'm like, okay, am I still interested? Yeah. Do I want more? Yeah, let's change it up a little bit.
Activate God mode.
Well, I mean, come
on. True. Very true, man.
You know what? I had a question for you, though.
Yeah.
In any of the games that you played, like, recently, have you found anything coming off as too easy?
I feel like a lot of the games I've been playing lately have been like kind of harder than I probably should dive into. I mean, the easiest one, does Final Fantasy VII count? Because I played that a few days ago, or like
no, absolutely no, anything.
I mean, I'd probably say that because I've played it like 10 million times.
Well, I mean, with experience, things are gonna get easier.
Yeah. But like, dude, Dark Souls has definitely been pretty tough. Breath of the Wild, like master mode, I was not thinking it was going to be as hard as it was, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to put that on the back burner. That one's like whooping my ass.
Really?
Yeah, it's
like that. I understand, like, it's gonna have its moments where it's gonna be harder than, you know, other parts of the game, but is it really like at the point where, hey, I really need to like focus up and like I need to take a break and like come back to this just because, I don't know, I need to rethink my strategies and whatnot? Or
it was more so because I would play Breath of the Wild on like Monday, Tuesdays, and then Thursday, Fridays I would do Dark Souls and just kind of go through that schedule. But every time I'd come back to Dark Souls, I always felt way too rusty to actually play it. And then when I'd come back to like Breath of the Wild, I always felt too rusty to play that. So
absolutely, that's a thing. Absolutely, that's a thing.
It was more having to just like, I know some people can kind of juggle multiple games a week. I definitely found out it was better for me to just stick with one single game and just try to go through it every single day. But yeah, I mean, dude, Dark Souls, I really feel like hasn't been like overly hard. Same with like Bloodborne. I didn't think it was like as level 10 insane difficulty as everyone kind of made it out to be. I mean, it was challenging, but it was like a very rewarding challenging. But like, I mean, not like God of War in God of mode, God crazy mode, you know, like some of the super difficulty ones. But yeah, I feel like.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like with any game, just kind of the more you play it and the better you get at it, the easier it usually becomes, unless you kind of start putting things in place to make it more difficult, you know?
Okay, so the reason I brought up this question was I've been playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla recently. And it's a fantastic game. I really love it. But I've gotten to the point where either I've become just a complete monster or the game made me too strong too fast, where it seems so easy. And to give you reference, the power scaling for that, they actually have like power levels. So, and it roughly goes from 1 to, I don't know, I want to say about 500.
Okay.
So
it's a lot of levels.
Right. But, I mean, they're not long levels because at some point you get like 2 at a time, 3 at a time sometimes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like you're going 1 by 1. I mean, don't get me wrong, you will get 1 point at a time, but it's not all the time.
Right.
But the whole thing about it is I'm at like 140 right now, and I'm killing things like level 400 and above.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and without much of a sweat really too.
Interesting. So like it feels pretty unbalanced.
For the NPCs, yeah.
Can you challenge other players online and like multiplayer duel?
Not yet. They've speculated that they're gonna have multiplayer for the next one, but as far as Valhalla goes, it's just you versus NPCs. And it's either I've picked out the perfect way to start killing things, or because like and the thing about it is I'm playing on the hardest difficulty with the hardest stealth mode.
Yeah.
And I'm still finding it to be relatively easy. And then I'm watching my buddy on just playing on hard mode, and he's struggling a bit.
Interesting.
Like killing things his own level.
Wow.
So I don't really know how to interpret that with the little amount of data that I have.
I mean, obviously you're a badass and you're destroying.
Well, I mean, I know this, but like, I don't feel like I should be doing it to this degree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Very interesting. I mean, maybe you just kind of found like the perfect optimal strategy for kind of taking on the gameplay.
I guess that's what I've dwindled it down to, because I shouldn't be able to kill things more than twice my level.
I mean, I mean, sometimes people do like those speed runs, like those no level up speed runs though, where they go through a whole game like not leveling up at all, and like every boss kind of, or every enemy kind of has its like weakness that you can exploit, you know? Are you kind of doing that, or are you just like kind of doing the same strategy but it's kind of working for everything?
So typically I'll play most of my games is if it has an option for long range, I'm going to use long range.
Okay. Like sniper? Or like bow and arrow?
Bow and arrow. That's what I've been using as Valhalla, is bow and arrow. And at this point, I'm still one-shotting those super big beasts that, you know, I shouldn't be able to do, that my friends are struggling with.
Very interesting.
So apparently I picked out the optimal strategy or something, because I'm out there headshotting everything, and they're just falling down.
Maybe the game's broken. Maybe I figured out some hacks for it.
No hacks, my dude.
Dude, I mean, you play games on like the hardest difficulty like all the time. That's kind of your thing, right? Like the ultra difficulty.
To be honest, I didn't start doing that until like probably about 2 years ago, like just a little bit before I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing it that long, but like since I have been doing it, I want to say that like, you know, reaction time and things have, you know, increased, or in terms of like reaction time decreased. And, you know, it's just kind of practice and different skills from different games come in. If you think about it, you don't have to play cookie cutter for every game. You really don't.
Right. Everyone's different. Every game is different.
Right, exactly. But there are elements from each game that you can bring into it, like other games.
Right.
Like say, like even though you like playing Call of Duty, you're aiming down a sight, you're still aiming, and you know, for things that use like a bow, you're still aiming down sights and aiming. Right.
Stuff
like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, when is IceBeams going to play Bloodborne?
Fortune has been bugging me.
It's a religious experience, my man. It is.
Experience. So the way I always thought of it is, it's not that it doesn't look like a good game. It just looks too easy for me.
Too easy?
That's how I feel about it. That's how I've always felt about it. Like since it released, like I had a buddy who I watched play quite a bit of it. Not, you know, intently, but like now I'm like, oh, this is because I mean he's just out there just like slash dead. I'm like, how am I gonna have fun with this?
It's definitely one of those games where like once you kind of get the hang of the gameplay, it's decently easy. It's just things are really aggressive and they can kill you with like only a few hits. So like if you ever get ganged up on with like 2 or 3 enemies and they get a couple hits in, that's kind of the difficulty spike I think that tends to happen.
And this also, that point goes back to what I was saying earlier about skills transferring from game to game.
Sure.
Because in, I don't know, most every game I play, there are a lot of people who prefer blocking or parrying.
Yeah.
I prefer straight up evasion.
Like
so if I'm not getting hit, I don't need to block it at all. Like I don't need to worry about damage. I don't need to worry about things breaking. I'm just gonna straight up dodge it all. Like
there you go. I mean, you can definitely, that's kind of the big thing with dude, I really feel like you'd love Bloodborne because like a big thing is dodging and evading and everything. But it's so fast paced. It's like so microsecond dodging. I feel like that's what makes it so much fun.
Oh man, if you saw me playing Valhalla 2 days ago, you'd flip your lid.
Yeah. Zooming all over.
Well, I mean, I'm dodging things within like this close to me.
Yeah.
Like not even like just fractions of seconds, like not even a whole second, just fractions of seconds.
Just by like the hair.
I'm taking as much time as I can before I have to get out of the way.
Sure.
Like I'd just rather not get hit at all, and that's just how I play.
It's like when you're playing the game and it's like, why do I keep dying? And then that one person in his chat is just like, just don't get hit, cap a face, and you're like, brilliant strategy there. Thank you so much for that one.
Well, I mean, sometimes you do need a strategy because there are things that you need strategy for.
Right.
Take things out. Going back to Valhalla, I actually had somebody in my chat the other day who was, I'm like level like 110, and I'm taking on something that's like 320, something like that.
Sure.
And this guy's like, this is the hardest fight in the game for me. And I'm like, so I go in the first time and I die, and he laughs, and the whole time he's like talking about this boss. He's like, man, you're not gonna do it. Like, it's too high. The hardest boss in the game for me. I go back in the next time.
Oh no.
I kill the entire boss in 9 shots, and I have not heard from that guy since.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
shut him down right there.
Yeah, like the second I did it, I didn't hear from him. I still haven't.
The feels, man. Feels bad, man.
Like, if you think I'm gonna quit after 1 death, you don't know me.
Right. Right. I mean, that's how you get good, though. Is you die a lot and you learn exactly what killed you and why you died, and then you just make adjustments and get better next time, right?
And I gotta say, having a death counter, it really pushes you to die less. So you want to get good real fast.
I mean, unless you accidentally don't update the death counter. But who would forget to do that?
I mean, come on, though. You have awesome mods that'll do it for you.
Hell yeah, dude. I like, my mods are like the best on Twitch. I stand by that 100%. Like, you guys are 10 out of 10 amazing, and I appreciate you so freaking much.
Oh, man, it's no worries. Like, I'm happy to do it for a friend. I really am.
Dude.
Like, great people. Just, you really are.
Yeah, like that's the cool thing. That's been the best part, honestly, about streaming, is just like meeting all these awesome people from all around the world. Like, that's the coolest part. Is just, it's pretty interesting how, a couple of them are kind of in the Washington area or North Dakota now, but like,
I'm coming back.
Yeah, coming back to the Washington side. But that is so cool. Like, especially talking to like Crises or Carrion or, like August Gun JP in like Japan or like Porto in Australia, just like meeting people from literally every continent. And I'm like, dude, this is what it's all about. This is so cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's people say, oh, you like, if you go on Twitch, you're gonna get harassed and whatnot. And don't be wrong, there are people out there like it, but for the most part, there are more nicer people on Twitch than there are like, jerks.
Right. Like or sorry, what were we saying?
No, go for it.
One of the things I was kind of like hesitant about when I started streaming, kind of like before I jumped into it, was I was worried there were going to be a lot of those trolls or a lot of people coming in and like just being, an asshole and everything. But it really feels like 99% of people are cool, chill friends. And like, there's always going to be that 1% that are the trolls or spoil things or whatever, but those are so in the minority. It does not at all ruin the overall experience, I think.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, again, back to the mod thing, like, there are, you know, they're going to take care of that for you, like, as soon as they can. Like, especially, like, people who just, like, come in and try to spoil games.
Oh, God.
Because that's another kind of, you know, jerk type thing to do. It's not okay. Like, people don't like get their games being spoiled. And typically, like, the mods will take them out before you even see it.
Right. Some people just want to watch the world burn, man.
I just want to watch my enemies burn.
There you go. I like that so much more. So one thing I've been actually kind of wanting to ask is, like, what kind of originally got you into streaming? Was it like any particular game? Was it like a certain person in your life or you saw online that kind of sparked that, hey, like, I want to give this a shot? Like, what was kind of that catalyst moment for wanting to start streaming for you?
So funny story about that is, some time ago, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
you're good.
okay.
You're good. That was my jam.
So as terms of starting, like, streaming, it was more along the lines of, I only knew who, at the time, I heard about this guy named Ninja. Everybody knows Ninja.
Yeah.
And not because I played Fortnite or anything, but just because I heard about some crazy number that popped up on Facebook somewhere. And it was, oh, hey, he does Twitch. And, like, you're able to, I had no idea about Twitch until I heard of this thing.
Sure.
2 days later, I was on Twitch.
Dude, hell yeah. Like your first stream, or like created the account, or?
No, first stream.
Dude,
like,
nice.
I just dove into it, like, head first. At that point, I didn't have a PC or anything. I was only able to stream from my PlayStation. Nice. And I did that for the longest time. Like, probably about a year and a half before I actually, like, got, you know, saved up the money, because, you know, PCs are expensive.
Yeah, they are. And capture cards and everything.
You know what's inflation prices, man. That's what's crazy to me. Like, what's happened with all the GPUs and whatnot since COVID hit, and everybody trying to stream from home. And, you know, it's a double-edged sword at that point. You know, as far as terms of somebody who's on Twitch before that happened, because I know you are one of the people that joined Twitch because of COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, not directly related, but, you know, somewhat. And it was crazy to see, like, oh, there's so many more people.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing, because there's more friends to make, there's more viewers to have, and just generally, you know, like, you know, more good people.
Yeah.
But like, being on there for so long, it was like, all right, I'm doing okay. And I never really had a problem with my numbers. I still don't. I don't worry about it at all. I just play my game. I have fun. I make good conversation as much as I can with the people who come in my chat. But, you know, the COVID thing was so weird because of the inflation prices. So my PC I bought for $650.
Mm-hmm.
A year and a half ago, 2 years. No, probably about a year before COVID hit.
Okay.
So I looked at it recently. That same $650 PC going for $1,200.
Oh man, yeah.
My $25 camera that I have currently going for $90.
Wow, it's insane. Just
things like that. It's crazy.
It's because it's like this perfect storm of everything. Because, like, the silicon for creating the CPUs and GPUs is getting, like, harder and harder to manufacture, and some of those CPUs are going in, like, PlayStations and going into is
the silicon like what it is? Like, is that really like the huge issue with the, like, having processors and whatnot?
Well, there's like a huge kind of perfect storm of it, and like that's one of the big components is, like, it's getting harder and harder to manufacture these, like, CPUs and GPUs on the smaller, like, 7 nanometer, 8 nanometer nodes for them. So it's more difficult for the manufacturers to make those CPUs and GPUs. But then also COVID happened, and a lot of people are at home now, and a lot of people are either working from home, creating from home, want to game at home. So there's more demand there. There's like a once every 10-year generation cycle of, like, new consoles coming out. Like, we don't get a PS4, PS5 every other year. Like, they're pretty rare and exciting. So everyone's kind of going for those.
Yeah, and it's weird that pop, like, what, during COVID.
Yeah.
It was,
and then
it's not like they had planned on that. But yeah, like we only get a new console once every 10 years.
Right. And then I mean, like, just to kind of even more is like all the cryptocurrency stuff going on. Like people are hardcore buying like super powerful GPUs for cryptocurrency mining. And then freaking scalpers.
Yeah, people just trying to take advantage of the system, and it's messed up. I hate it.
It is. That's why you see like I was reading this article the other day, or this thing on Reddit where this guy was like just randomly checked Best Buy, saw they had like a 3090 in stock, instantly bought it on the spot. And then he's like, right when I got it, I was like, should I even use this, or should I just like flip it on eBay for like $3,000? And I mean, he was like genuinely like really wondering about that. And of course everyone's like, oh, you got something special, use it, love it. But he's like, I mean, this is $1,500 that I could turn into 3,000, you know? Like I
get it. I do.
Right. We all get it, but it's like, that's what's so terrible about the situation.
Be a good person though.
Right. It's one of those things where it's like, unfortunately, there really are people out there that will pay those prices for it, you know?
Oh, 100%. Because they can make more money off of that.
Exactly.
And it's
crappy.
It is.
It's such a bad situation to be in, you know? For like,
it's not ideal for people. For gamers, like, because you know, most gamers, they don't have. Well, I'm not saying most, but like people that are just starting out, especially like teenagers that are just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for them to get something like that because it's so expensive. And if they got something like that, they would absolutely treasure it. Right. I'm 100% sure they would.
No, I 100% agree.
Most of them.
Most of them. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Even like the whole like 3000 series is impossible to find. The 2000 series GPUs impossible to find. Even like the ones from like 4 or 5 years ago, like those are selling for like marked up prices. And it's like, dude, this is an insane time to want to build a PC, to want to buy a PC, to be any kind of PC component gamer. It's just a tough time.
It really is, and that's why I'm grateful that I was fortunate enough to unknowingly buy my PC before all of this happened.
Like looking at it over there, like my precious.
Pretty much, like every day. Like I'm not even kidding you. I'm like, you know what? If it wasn't for this, probably would have gotten mad by now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, especially because like I've been moving a couple places, and like being able to talk to my friends, like you and everybody that shows up to like Twitch chat and everybody else I play games with, it's extremely nice to have to be able to, you know, talk face to face, even though miles apart.
Big virtual hug for you, my man. You can't feel it, but it is absolutely there, dude. 100%. Here's a question for you that like, sure. I think I've been dying to ask you since I probably first ever met you. Is IceBeams really your favorite Pokemon attack move?
Of course.
Is it?
It's a Dragon Slayer. It's a Dragon Slayer.
It actually is.
Like it takes them all out.
It is.
Lands at the end of the first series of Pokemon.
Yeah.
5 of the 6 Pokemon are Dragon types. Guess what takes most of them out? Ice Beam.
There you go. So it's like kind of like an ultimate attack essentially for the first game, or like planning for that end battle.
Planning for that end battle, because if you get there, like chances are, if you haven't prepared for it, that's going to be your savior, because that last fight is hard.
Yeah. I've actually never played the original Pokemon game before. Yeah, the only one I ever played was Heart Gold, and it was actually a ton of fun. I really liked it a lot. But can Ice Beams be a move like that? Because I'm coming from the Pokemon Go world, so Ice Beams was always like Lapras's, like one of their Lapras's best moves. Is it a move that you can like add on to Pokemon, or like take away or trade? Or
yeah, so what they actually have is they're called technical machines,
right? TMs. Yeah.
TMs. Yep. And you know, you can just, Ice Beam is TM13. Oh, please don't. I really hope. Yeah, Ice Beam is 13. Blizzard is 14. That's right. But yeah, you can just throw it on any Pokemon that's able to learn it. Typically, most water ice types can. Like, that's my favorite types. That's what I use.
Yeah.
It's not because like I love all the like the water type creatures and whatnot. I don't know. It's just always been my favorite. It's what I like to do. I always start with the water starter in every Pokemon game.
Nice.
Like it's never even an option to pick fire or grass.
Straight for water.
Straight for water every time.
You know what? That is so interesting because like so many people like legitimately have that thought process about Pokemon. Like other people will be like, it's always fire, or I'm always going for like the grass types. Like Bulbasaur is the Pokemon of my dreams. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I was always Charmander. Like I was always the fire type. So
yeah, see, like everybody's got their own thing.
Right. Not for any like planning out. This will make the game easier. I'm just like, Charmander's so cute. I mean, Squirtle's cute too. I'm not gonna lie. Squirtle's pretty damn cute. Squirtle Squad.
Do I want a giant tortoise with cannons on its back? Yes. Like.
But a dragon?
Because dragons aren't everything. Dragons are everywhere, man.
They are.
Everybody has dragons in their games. But how often do you see a giant tortoise with cannons on its back?
Okay, I will totally agree with that. You win that conversation 1000%. There's literally like any fantasy book, movie, game. They're like, what can we fantasize more about it? Let's add dragons. Every single one. You're 100% right. So is IceBeams actually a better move than Blizzard?
Yes and no.
They're just different?
Blizzard has a higher damage,
Mm-hmm.
but its accuracy is only 70 rather than IceBeams 90 damage to 100%.
Gotcha. So it could miss. Has a high chance of missing.
No, well, 30% chance for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Unless something's been happening to your Pokemon, IceBeams is pretty much always going to hit.
Gotcha.
It's got 100% accuracy. Yep.
That's pretty cool. It almost feels like Pokemon in some kind of sense is like a virtual chess, like chess in a different way, you know?
Oh, it almost certainly is. Like absolutely. Like if you do get a chance to get your hands on Pokemon Sword or Shield,
yeah,
and give that a go, I think you really enjoy it. I really do, because there's tons to do. There's over 900 or over 800 Pokemon to catch.
800? Is it like every like Johto and Kanto and like all of them?
I mean, up until Sword and Shield, it has been every single one of them, but obviously they limit to what's in the game. So initially they'll give you 400 of the 830 whatever that there are.
And you have to have both games, right?
You don't have to. They've got something called Wonder Trade, where you can trade people over the globe.
Oh, cool. Can you do you have to
Online.
find them directly, or can you just put it in a pool and whoever's looking for that Pokemon will offer, or?
Exactly.
Oh,
that's exactly it. Yeah. It's like, so you don't need both games, but some people like to buy both versions of the games. And I'm like, am I really gonna go through the game twice like that? No, I'm gonna go through it once, and then I'm gonna do all the fun and stuff on that same file.
Hell yeah.
But as far as they came out with expansion passes where they added completely new areas, they added more of the other 430 whatever that they didn't have. And they add on to it. It just leaves room for improvement. And just because those Pokemon aren't in the game, that doesn't mean you can't get them through other means. Because they recently added an app on your Switch. It's called Pokemon Home. And what you can actually do is you can transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go onto Pokemon Home on your Switch.
Wait, what?
And from Pokemon Home, you can transfer it over to Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Wait, so you can take
right.
You can take a Pokemon from Pokemon Go and put it into Pokemon Sword and Shield, this same Pokemon?
Yeah, 100%.
What?
Yeah.
I wonder if people use Pokemon Go as their catching kind of thing, and then just kind of use that as a bank to transfer to the game, or maybe vice versa even.
It doesn't go back to your phone. It can't go back to Pokemon Go. So
Gotcha.
Once it's off Pokemon Go, yeah. So Pokemon Home is essentially the app that they're trying to continue forward with through the future Pokemon games that they will have. It's just going to be Pokemon Home. So everything that you want to keep, store it in Pokemon Home. Like your Pokemon from Sword and Shield, anything like that. If you really want to get crazy and you've got all the equipment to do it, you can get a Pokemon from Pokemon Red, the cartridge.
No way.
On the Pokemon Sword and Shield. Yeah, there's absolutely equipment to do that. Throughout the games, it's going to take a little bit of work. But yeah, it's absolutely possible.
So if you got 100 IV perfect shiny Charizard or Blastoise in this case, and you want to try, and you got that on Pokemon Red on like this old school game cartridge, you can transfer that to like the Switch and like use that same Pokemon.
Yeah, so how that would work is, you remember the 3DS?
Yeah.
How it's got 2 slots, one for like the old cartridges on the bottom, and then the new little, it does. And the new little like cartridges on the top side. So you would put both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think it is Heart Gold, Soul Silver that they have that. I'm just gonna call it a device because I don't remember the actual term for it.
Yeah.
But you can transfer the ones from the cartridge onto the little game cards, and from there you just you can use the Wi-Fi to transfer it over to Pokemon Home.
So interesting. That's super cool, actually. That's like such a unique take on gaming. That's something like only Nintendo would think up, you know?
Well, there aren't too many game series out there that have lasted 20 plus years.
Right. And what games are that old? Like Zelda, Mario, Final Fantasy, Sonic, kind of? Sonic?
Maybe, because I remember Sonic being, and don't quote me on this, but I remember Sonic coming out for the Sega?
I think it was the Sega. I never had a Sega or any of the Segas, so I'm not super familiar with those.
I didn't have one, but I had family who did, and I only got a little opportunity to use them. But yeah, I think that's. I myself, first thing I had was a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And I've been gaming on that for forever. Mega Man, that's another one that's been around for a long time. Mega Man.
Dude, what was your go-to games on Super Nintendo? We could like literally spend the rest of the conversation talking about Super Nintendo. It's like my favorite console of all time.
Actually, the game cartridges that I owned that I was super happy to play like all the time was my favorite game. I think all time is going to be Mega Man X.
Ooh.
I was super happy when I found out that they moved that to Switch.
Yeah.
Because like they the whole collection, 1 through 8. I bought for $20. All 8 games, $20.
Dude, that's such a steal.
So, yeah, it was super happy to be able to find that. But the other games on Super Nintendo were Kirby's Dream Land. That was a great one.
Classic.
Star Fox.
Oh, another classic.
Yep. A Link to the Past.
Masterpiece.
I had that on cartridge, right? Super Mario World.
Maybe best Mario game of all time, in my opinion. I know that's immediately a hot take, but
I actually played through it because they brought that one to Switch as well.
Yeah.
I played through that, I don't know, probably about 3 to 4 weeks ago. Yeah. And I beat that whole game in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Like that was a lot of fun, like going back and like redoing it all.
What do you think? What do you think is the most difficult level in Super Mario World? Because do you remember that one castle? What is it? I think it's like Castle 5 or Castle 6, like right when you come out of the forest, and you have to like get on
6, I believe.
Yeah, and
4 is at the top of the hill, 5 would be in the forest, and then 6 would be coming out of it because the 7th is in the underground next to Bowser.
I think that's the one with like you're standing on whatever the boxes are, and they're like kind of moving over the lava and going up and all over, and
I think that's 7.
Maybe is that 7? That one, I died so many times to that one. And then there was like a star level one that was like insanely difficult.
So if you did play the star levels, did you beat all the star levels and then unlock the secret to go to the hidden levels?
Yep.
Those are the difficult ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones that,
yes.
The ones that are named like Gnarly and Tubular.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Because like the star ones aren't too bad; they're pretty easy. But like when you unlock the hidden, yeah, exactly. The blue Yoshi is the best one, definitely.
Oh, 100%.
Flying one,
fly.
Right? Yeah, I think it was Gnarly. I think Gnarly was the one that was like the hardest freaking one because you had to be like the poofy Mario and float, and then
I was actually thinking of that one. Yep, that's the one I was thinking of.
I like raged so much at that level. It was such a tough level.
It was because there was fractions
so
of seconds. Yeah, you had to get and you had to dodge things.
Yes.
But if you spent too long dodging, your little balloon would run out and you'd go back to normal and you'd fall.
And it's not like you can quickly dodge. You're like, oh, something's coming. I gotta slowly float up. Oh, but I'm spending too much time floating up. I'm starting to, unpoof or whatever.
Right.
That was,
exactly.
Have you played any of like Super Mario Maker at all?
No, I haven't. Just because I never really got around to it. I had a Wii, but I really wasn't too fond of it.
Mm-hmm.
I never did get a Wii U.
Yeah.
So I didn't play any of those games either.
I think we had a Wii U just for Mario Kart 8, honestly.
And I remember it being on there, and I was so mad. I'm like, man, I love Mario Kart. I've been playing Mario Kart since the Super Nintendo. I had Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've been playing it since then, like all the way through. Playing on the 64, played it on the GameCube, and but like when they brought it to the Wii U, I'm like, well, I guess I'm missing out this time.
Oh no!
When they brought it to Switch, I'm like,
yes,
I'm there.
Yes. Do you think Mario Kart 8 is the best Mario Kart of all time? Because I haven't played any. I've played the Super Nintendo one for like 2 minutes, and that's the only other one I've ever played. I've never played any other Super Mario or Super Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 64 holds up pretty well still. Yeah, still. Like playing it on the 3-prong controllers that they had for the 64.
Yeah. Did you like those N64 controllers? They were funky.
I think it was Nintendo's design and the first real like controller to have a joystick and a D-pad.
Yeah, yeah.
Because typically it was one or the other.
Didn't the PlayStation 1 have? The PlayStation 1 had both of them.
Right, but the N64 came out before that. I think. Pretty sure.
Interesting. I like when I really started playing games, like there was only Nintendo and PlayStation like around my whole life, and Xbox. So I never grew up in the Sega time or what Master Box, or there's like a Master something one. Yeah, like Master Drive or some other one. So I was talking to some people on Twitter a couple days ago about like what's your favorite console of all time, and I was just naive. Me was like, they'll probably say Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 3 or whatever. And people are listing like Atari 6700 or like Master Drive. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't know what any of those are. That's barely before my time. That's like late 80s technology. Yeah. I think we're like right the same age. So probably similar.
I'm early 90s.
Yeah. What? Well, you're 28, right?
Yeah.
28. I'm 27, so pretty much the same.
Oh, for some reason, no, it's wifey who's a bit younger, right?
Yeah, she's 20.
Don't get this wrong.
25. She's 25. Isn't it interesting? Like after you like leave school or like high school or college or whatever, like once you leave school, you kind of just stop forgetting. Or stop remembering like how old you are, because you like don't ever talk about how old you are, you know?
Yeah, that's not really a thing.
You're just like you're an adult, I'm an adult, we're probably the same age ish, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Plus or minus 10 years.
It's crazy. My 10-year reunion is this year. Man, that's to think about.
Are you gonna go to it? Are you gonna go to it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's later in November.
I haven't even thought if I'll go, because mine's next year. Did you get like an invite or like a Facebook thing, or how did that work? Facebook. Oh man,
it's just super easy to find people that way. I mean,
I guess I can't. You know what? I can't say anything about Facebook because I'm definitely not a fan of like some of their privacy stuff or some stuff they've done.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not either.
Yeah,
I'm rarely on it. I use it just for keeping up with people I haven't seen and people I moved away from.
Yeah, because I mean, like, it kind of is true. Like not everyone, but a lot of people are on Facebook, and I can't really say anything though because I have Instagram and they're like literally owned by the same company. So, I have a coworker I've talked to, and we've spent a lot of time talking about Facebook and privacy and all sorts of stuff. And he was like, I do have an Instagram that's kind of different. I'm like, no, it is not, dude. They're literally the exact same company. But I mean, even like Twitter and YouTube and even Twitch, I mean, like all of them, they do things to get some extra revenue. If that means selling your data or whatever crazy stuff, we're kind
making exceptions to rules in terms of Twitch,
right? Or like smaller streamer will get a ban if you do something, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bigger streamer,
they're earning Twitch money. Like, right. If we don't want them to stop. earning money for us. So
Man,
we're gonna let this slide, even
Yeah.
though probably against TOS, you know.
right. Have you been watching Ludwig's? Like 20. He's doing this like it's like this stream where he's staying like live completely like 24/7, and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
and like every time someone subs, I think it adds like 10 seconds to the clock, so it's like always kind of like fluctuating, and he's pretty much been live for like a week or two straight now. It's been insane. I haven't watched too much, but like every night wifey will be like, can we like go and check if he's still alive? And we'll pop in for 2 seconds, and he'll be sleeping or he'll be working out, he'll be cooking, it's ridiculous, but it's super creative. And you're like, I mean, I could see this going, like, what if a lot of people did this?
It's kind of like the Truman Show, if you've seen that movie.
Yes, I was totally thinking that. I'm like, what is to stop someone from taking this and putting cameras all around the house, and all they do is just like stay live 24/7, you know?
I mean, there are absolutely people who do that, but the cost of that is your privacy.
Right, exactly. But I mean, there's gonna be those people who are like, I'm giving away my privacy, but I'm getting thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, you know?
Unfortunately, that's how it is, and you know, most people like that.
Right.
And actually, as of I think it was February last month this year, they changed TOS a little bit, and not just for Ludwig, but for everybody. So you could be live longer than 48 hours, and like you could sleep on stream. It's not against the rules anymore. I know. It happened to me. I know.
I have a whole question about that. For anybody that doesn't know, do you want to maybe explain that story?
I was unconscious, but yeah, one morning, I would probably say, I think last September, I think it was what it was. Does that sound right?
I think right around there, yeah.
Yeah. So having a great stream. Playing, I think at the time it was Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
Having a great time with that. And then after, 12-hour stream, 14-hour streams, I'd be like, okay, well, it's about that time. Buddy Zeph here is getting on. So I'm just going to go raid him. And for all you don't know, I do have a custom command in my chat that does let people know that we are raiding Zeph.
Dude.
Because I go do it so much, because sometimes I get off at that time when he's just starting out. I'm like, oh, perfect. I don't want to leave my viewers hanging, so I'm going to bring them somewhere that's absolutely fantastic, and that would be this guy.
Dude, you're the best.
I try.
Not just me, right? There's raids for Lolly or raids for others as well.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Just you, man.
Dude, you are too kind. You're too kind. My favorite is when you'd like kick all of our ass in Mario Kart, and you made that custom command that says you've just been iced.
I mean,
you remember that?
That's what like keeps me going, is like little things like that. Little things. That's what I'm like, all right, yeah, let's keep going. Let's beat everybody, just so I can type that in chat one more time.
Honestly, Mario Kart is absolutely not the same unless we have you in it. Like every time we're like winning, like wifey and I or whatever, we're doing pretty good, and then it's like, uh-oh, IceBeams just got on. Well,
oh yeah,
there goes our reign of success.
Oh, that happened what, like 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm warning.
Yeah, I had your stream up before I hopped on, like specifically before I turned on my game, just to see your reaction. And I heard Zach first because he was also in chat with you. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, there goes our fun.
Right. The conqueror has come to conquer. Dude, I want to do more streams like that. I've been talking about like doing like community night streams where we can do like Mario Kart or even like Among Us or like games like that where we can like play, games with everyone, and we gotta do it. I'd be down. I'm definitely in the process of like making some big changes at work at the moment.
Yep.
So once those kind of things kind of settle, should have plenty of time to do some extra things. I've been wanting to do like watch parties too. Have you done any watch parties?
Yeah, actually recently I've done 3 or 4 in the last week.
Those are super cool.
And not for the whole stream, just as like, I need a small break, but I want to keep hanging out with you guys. Like, I'm not done, but I need to grab like a snack or something because I'm starving. I go for long amounts of time.
Yeah.
So like, I think in the past week we've watched Coming to America 2. We watched Tropic Thunder the other night.
Ooh.
Just movies that they've got on Amazon. Unfortunately, you can't get everything, but I mean, they have TV shows you can throw on watch parties as well, which is cool. Like, it's not just movies. Yeah.
So, because you do stream for so long, I really do got to know, like, how do you do it? Like, where does the stamina come from doing like, oh yeah, I just did an easy 18-hour stream, nothing, no big deal whatsoever. Like, how, as someone, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour charity stream tomorrow, so I need all the advice. What do you got?
It's the amount of fun you're having. It really is. Like, I don't go because, you know, like I want to hit like long periods of time. I just keep playing my game because I think it's fun. I'm having a great time.
Kind of get lost in it.
Not necessarily locked. I'm completely aware of like what I'm doing and like how long I've been in the game. But I just, you know, some days it's like, oh, I'm just gonna keep doing until, and sometimes I'll set myself goals like, when I get here, that's when I'll get off. And even on those days, I'll go past that.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to stop. I'm having too much fun. It's just really how it is. Like, it's not anything special. At least I don't think it is.
So it's not much of like a time period scale. It's more of like, I want to get to this specific point in the game, whether that's like 4 hours in or 10 hours in.
I don't always do that though. That's the thing. Like on a game, like that's repetitive, like Warzone.
Yeah.
You can't, there's not really a goal like that. I mean, maybe like account level, whatever, but you know, I don't see it that way. I just play it because I have fun, and like I'll go hours on that, like, and most other games I play. I just really like video games. Like I like learning, bringing skills from one game to another, and seeing. I will be honest though, the best thing that ever helped me, and even in video games, was the physics class I took in high school.
Yeah.
Because it relates to everything. It really does. Like whether it's leading a target that you're aiming at, or, you know, predicting how far I'm gonna fall where, like in terms of like jumping from platform to platform.
Interesting.
Or even like the amount of time it takes me to swing my sword.
Yeah. Like the timing of everything. Yeah,
I mean, it's a thing that you use every day. You may not know it, but you truly do use it every day.
Yeah.
And especially a good example of sports.
Yeah.
I know people don't think about it like I do, but physics is everywhere. I mean, how fast to throw a ball, like what it's going to take to hit it. Like I think about all that stuff. It may not seem like it some days, but like that's really what's running through my head.
Yeah.
It's like little things like that. Or like throwing bombs in Zelda. It's like, well, I need to throw it somewhere, and I've never thrown this in this direct or angle before, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make it because of my relative experience with everything else.
Dude, the physics in Breath of the Wild is mind-blowing. I feel like the physics alone in Breath of the Wild, like Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all of last gen games, and I feel like it's not even, this might be so blasphemous to say, but I kind of feel like it's not even close. Like I feel like there's Breath of the Wild, and then there's like everything else, like God of War, Bloodborne, you know, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like Breath of the Wild is just such a perfect game.
And to be honest, it's one of the games I've been wanting to play. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't own it yet.
It's just like, I feel like there's like, even today people are still playing it in like different, odd, crazy, weird ways, you know. It's so cool.
I was talking to Ryman saying that he saw somebody complete the whole thing with what, a Korok leaf, I think it was. Yes. And to me, like, sure, like you do you, bud, but that just sounds painful.
Oh man.
Like,
and yeah, I was talking about it today on stream, like about speed running and everything. Like it's kind of one thing to speed run a game like that's an hour long, but it's totally different thing to speed run a game that's like 8 hours long or like 16 hours long. And there's people that do like Breath of the Wild speed runs that like get all the Korok seeds, all the shrines, everything 100% it in like 16, 18 hours. Right. Like, and that's a speed run, and they're doing that the whole day.
Okay, just some basic math. Just some basic math here. You got what, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours a day, and you're collecting 900 seeds in 16 hours. Let alone doing all the other stuff, including story, watching the story, and like for scenes that you can't skip, boss fights, all the random meaningless fights in between. And you're saying that only takes 16 hours to 100% the whole game?
Yeah, it was right around that time. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head, but I know I've seen a couple people in that like 16 to 18 hour time range.
Even at 18 hours, 900 seeds.
That's wild. And they're so precise with it. When you watch them, they're like, they get the seed, they immediately know where to go, like how many steps, like everything is so precise. Speedrunning blows my mind. Like speedrunning is such a talent.
Have you tried speedrunning anything?
No, I don't know if I'd have the patience for it, honestly.
See, I started out trying to speedrun Mega Man X.
Oh yeah.
So I can beat it I think the world record for it's like 33 minutes for the very first one, and I can do it in about 48. So like it's nowhere near close to top whatever. Yeah. But under an hour. It used to take me 4 or 5 hours to beat it as a kid. Yeah. So like cutting it down to under an hour, I feel like that's a good start to other things. Yeah, and I mean, if I was gonna ever speedrun games, I would probably look at games like that you can do it in under an hour, because I like it. Like watching JP, he's doing Final Fantasy VIII, and he's playing for 8 hours every single time he attempts it. And if you make like certain big mistakes 2 hours in, 5 hours in, 7 hours in, that just kind of like it just kind of like ruins it. And I mean, of course you're just like, well, I guess this isn't the one, we'll try next time. But like, those are so stressful. Whereas if you're like doing a 40-minute speed run and you make a mistake 10 minutes in, it's like, oh, it's no big deal, I'll just reset. The way I think about it is, and it's very few people see me like mad or angry at a game. I typically say all the time, like, I don't get mad, I get even. Oh. Like, if a boss kills me, I'm not gonna get upset about it. I learned a while ago that like anger and emotion, that it clouds your judgment. Don't let the anger win. Don't let the hate win. Absolutely not. And like, shoot, a good example is when I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I know a lot of people watching Assassin's Creed, but I really love the series. Yeah, I ran my face into a boss, like a boss spore, like 104 times before I killed it. 104 times. Didn't stop, didn't take a break. I just kept running in, trying to learn from my mistakes, trying to do better. I didn't get mad. Not once. Whole time. And when I finally beat it, that was probably one of the best. That was probably one of the hardest fights I've ever had in the game. Yeah. And I felt so good afterwards for beating it. Just like, yes! Obviously on hardest difficulty, but yeah. And here I am with like 30 attempts on like a Burritos or whatever in Bloodborne, and I was just like gonna pull my hair out. Oh man. No, man, you can't let that win. You can't. Dude, I almost stopped playing Demon Souls right at the very beginning, because like you start right at the Boletarian Palace, I think, and just like right the very first few enemies you encounter are so beyond aggressive and just are like trying to stab the living F out of you. And I'm just like, why is this the beginning of a game? Like, whose bright idea was it to put like these insanely aggressive enemies like right at the very beginning of the game? See, I kind of felt the same way when I first started Dark Souls 3. Yeah, it's the only Soulsborne game I played. And before, like, and the only reason I found the very first boss, like when you go into the arena, you pull the sword out and the big guy just leaps up. Sure. I feel like the only reason that I struggled with that boss at all was mainly for the reason that game doesn't teach you anything about the controls. It doesn't. Nothing. None of them do. Yeah, exactly. But like having prior, like that was my first, because that'd be my first Soulsborne game. Like I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. Like most games typically have, they're gonna teach you like the first, whether it be 1 minute to the first 30 minutes, or heaven forbid 4 hours. Yeah. Like one of the games I played, it was a great game, but 4 hours of like mindless tutorials. Yeah, not necessarily tutorials, but like not even getting to like the main story that you want to like that's mentioned in the entire game. And like, the game I'm actually talking about, hand holding. Kind of. So what the thing I'm thinking of is Assassin's Creed 4.
Okay. Black
It's the one
Flag.
no, not Black Flag. Just Assassin's Creed 4.
Just
it might have
4?
been 3. No, 4. It's definitely 4 because it was after.
3 is the only one I've ever played. That's the like a 1700s America, right?
That's what I'm talking about with Connor as the assassin. The
Okay.
Native American.
Yes. I think that's Assassin's Creed 3.
The start of that was just so long. Like you're a kid for so long, and then you're a redcoat doing some random stuff for a while, and like not until like I checked, I think it's like 38% into the game do you actually get to Connor and get to play as him.
Very interesting. That is a long time.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, just
You know what's so funny is I feel like when you first play a Souls game, your immediate thing is like, wow, this sucks because the game's not helping me at all. They're just throwing me in a world. I'm getting smashed to pieces and I have no idea kind of what to do. And then after you start playing Souls games, every other game afterwards, you're like, why is the tutorial so long? Why are you holding my hand so much? Why do you keep giving me healing items left and right? It's a very interesting feeling.
only thing I know is like proper controls.
Yeah, that's what matters
I
most.
don't need to know how to use them. I just need to know that this button is this button is this, and what button does what.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than that. Like,
did you like Dark Souls 3? Was it like pretty fun?
oh yeah, it was fantastic. I really did. I can't say after it was pretty easy after that first boss fight.
Yeah.
Like after figuring out like controls and whatnot, after that it got a whole lot easier. Like, it really did.
Did it make you want to try any of the other ones, or were you just kind of like, that was fun, cool, I'll kind of move on from here?
I think that's what also caused my judgment going back to me playing Bloodborne.
Yeah, you're just
Because
like,
like after that first boss fight, I thought it was super easy.
yeah,
Not like ridiculously easy, but like on the easier side than typically what I'm used to.
yeah. And for anybody out there listening that is like, what is this dude talking about with Dark Souls being easy? Like, IceBeams pretty much always plays every game on like legendary mode, god mode. Like, you go hard.
It was fun for me once.
Yeah.
Because like I am pretty stubborn when it comes to my playstyle. I'm like, if I find something that I like, I'm pretty much gonna stick to that the rest of the game.
Yeah. You know, I think the only game I've ever tried on the hardest, like max difficulty, I think was Halo Combat Evolved. Like on the OG Xbox. For some reason, I think I tried it on, what was it? Was it called Legendary? I can't remember what it was called.
But I remember playing through Halo 2, 3, 4, and Reach on the hardest difficulties. And those were a good time.
Dude.
But it wasn't truly like a solo experience because I had friends with me like the whole time going through the campaign
Yeah.
and whatnot. And we all just kind of wrecked shop.
Dude, I had such a huge Halo phase. Halo was such a fun series to play.
100%.
Yeah, did you play a lot of people didn't seem to like 4 though. Did you have any thoughts on 4? Like 4 and 5 seem to be where a lot of people were like, WTF is going on with the series here.
Wasn't Reach 5?
I think Reach wasn't I don't think I ever played Reach. I think Reach was a prequel if I can recall.
Yeah. It was, but it was later in the series, so it was more advanced than previous games.
Like the gameplay style of it.
Yeah, and overall graphics, it was newer.
Yeah.
Equipment.
I bought an Xbox One just so I could play Halo 5, and then I got like halfway through Halo 5 and I'm like, dude, this sucks. And I didn't even finish playing it. The gameplay was fun, but like the story and everything was just like, it was not good. I did not like it.
You can't have a killer story for every Halo, not just Halo, but like any game, like any series.
Yeah.
Like, not every one of your games is going to be a ballpark smash.
Very true. Very true. And I'm definitely feeling that like in the Souls games, because the Souls games are so much, they're like a lot of story and lore, but they don't tell you any of it like at all, which is really weird. And I'm not the biggest fan of games that tell stories that way. You know, I grew up playing like Final Fantasy and Zelda and stuff like that. So the games, like the story was first and foremost the focus.
It almost seems like a movie playing in front of you.
Exactly. It's like a movie cutscenes and then you get to go fight whatever here and there.
Instead of having to piece together the lore yourself.
Right. But I did do that with Bloodborne. After I played Bloodborne, I watched a lot of like lore videos, went back through and like read all the item descriptions, and it immediately was like, dude, this is so freaking cool. This world is insanely amazing. The religious experience I was talking about, I just wish they would have told it more to my face, you know?
Exactly.
Right. Do you have any game that like story-wise has just been like mind-blowing story-wise to you? Anything like that pops to mind?
You know what? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was probably one of my favorite stories that I've ever played. Like being able to travel through Greece and like just the Mediterranean, just fantastic. The story that goes on, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I know the game's years old, but like still, I don't want to spoil the game for anybody because it is a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
That you can go back to, fighting for Sparta.
Yeah.
Which is just amazingly fun. And if you've ever seen 300,
yeah,
just a blast. Just so good. And like the story that goes along with it, like the very first scene, and this isn't spoilers, you turn on the game, you're gonna see this. You essentially get like left for dead as a infant after being tossed off a cliff. Not tossed, but dropped.
Dude, that's like straight out of 300, right?
Almost.
Very interesting.
But like going from that and moving on, essentially like refinding your family years and years later. It was one of the best stories for me. I really, really enjoyed it. And to go along with all like the mythology that Greece has in terms of, because I'm not saying where or when, but you see a Minotaur, you see Medusa, you see giant Cyclops, like just, good things that are around, that you've heard in times from whether you play games like Smite or you read books like Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like it just goes along with all that. It's super cool to see in game in like 3D models that you can physically fight. I had a super, super good time with it. It just like appealed to like all my favorite things.
I'm guessing, did you like God of War a lot?
Oh, fantastic! Because that's another thing. Going back to Norse mythology.
Yeah.
I love mythology. Big on it.
Are you excited for part 2? Like, what is it, Ragnarok?
Oh yeah. Wait, what? There's another one?
Yeah, there's God of War 2 Ragnarok. They already announced it. I think they said it's going to be coming out this year, or it's rumored to come out this year.
All right.
Wait, you didn't know about this?
No, I didn't know about this.
Breaking news.
I mean, because Ragnarok is mentioned in a bunch of things, so I just for a split second, I thought you were talking about like, oh yeah, because like it mentions that in like most everything Norse mythology, because that was a huge thing.
Yeah, Ragnarok's kind of like the end of the world scenario.
Right, like even Thor Ragnarok.
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, God of War is such a good game, man. Like PlayStation and Sony have just like knocked it out of the park with just such killer games lately. I really haven't ever played many of the the only one I ever played was Assassin's Creed 3, and it was fun. I don't remember completing it though. I think I only did about half. I don't even think I ever got to oh god, brain fart. Corey? Or what was Connor. I don't think I ever got to that point in the game. Maybe it was that. Maybe that was like one of the worst ones to first start out with,
in my opinion, because I mean it takes so long to get to Connor that it's. Not that I was like frustrated or mad, but I was not happy learning how far into the game I had to get to be able to do that.
I will say I lived vicariously playing Black Flags through Lolly.
Oh yeah, Black Flag. Sorry, go.
Oh, I remember there was like 1 or 2 months where like I hung out in Lolly's stream like every single day and just watched her play Black Flags. It was so much fun.
Of all the games, that's my absolute #1 favorite.
Black Flags?
Black Flag. Edward Kenway is my favorite assassin. That's the main character in that story.
Yeah.
That is just the best one, in my opinion.
So, without maybe spoiling too much, is kind of the premise of Assassin's Creed is like every game has like a different assassin?
Yeah, just because they're different points and periods in time. Like initially when, like if you play the first, I think the one with Connor is Assassin's Creed 4, because the first 3 are with the same assassin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. The first one is, his name's Altair, something like that. But the first 3 are staged in Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just going like up and down that. And then let's see, it goes to the Caribbean. I was super upset because they had a brief selection for China.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only like an add-on from one of the games.
I was just gonna say like an ancient Chinese one would be so freaking cool.
There's rumors that the next one's going to be Japan and it's going to have multiplayer.
Ooh, kind of like Ghost of Tsushima maybe meets Assassin's Creed.
Right. Pretty much. That would be fantastic.
Is there an ancient Egypt one?
Yep. That was the one before. So the last 3 to come out. So Valhalla is the newest.
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey was before that. And then Origins was Egypt.
Gotcha. Okay, that was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, so that one was really good. And the way that they've done the last 3, because the last 3, or the most recent 3, have been somewhat different style than all the previous games.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas all the previous games, you could kind of run around and do things on the side, but for the most part, you were following a straight up story.
Are these ones more open world?
Yeah, they've adapted more of a sandbox feel, where you can just go and do anything. Like, because in Valhalla, I have not really touched any of the story.
Yeah.
But I've gone around killing and looting, pillaging, and everything, and like, raiding, just everything before I've even touched the story. Just because I think that's so much fun.
Yeah,
I love the combat.
With like open world sandbox games like that, did you ever get into Grand Theft Auto 5?
I played it for a decent amount of time. I can't say like a long period of time, but a decent amount of time. Probably, I don't know, a good 2-3 months of going hard at it.
Yeah. I've never played it at all, but I know it's like a huge game on Twitch, and I've seen some people stream it, and it looks fun. Like, there's some crazy side missions people do in that game.
There is, but I just have problems with it in terms of mechanics.
Yeah, it's pretty, not old, but kind of old. It's like 8 years old at this point, right?
It's got an instant lock-on mechanic, like for firearms, that I just find ridiculous.
Easy.
I
can see it. It's like you don't want to say easy, but like I can see it.
Yeah.
So here's a question, kind of back on like playing or like streaming for a super long time. What is do you know the longest stream you've ever done by any chance?
Yep, it was the second time I turned on my PlayStation to play God of War. I did that in one sitting. So I did
26
normal,
hours.
So I did normal the first time I played God of War. I did that in one sitting. That was 21 hours. When they came out with hard mode, I did that in 29 hours.
Oh man!
All
in one sitting.
All in one sitting.
Dude.
29 hours. And more recently, it was actually supposed to be not a couple days ago weekend, but the weekend before that. I was supposed to do it on the new God mode. Yeah. But I got involved in a Mr. Beast challenge that I couldn't pass up, and I had to give that a shot.
Ooh, what was the challenge, if you don't mind me asking?
Finger on the app. So I had to hold my thumb on the phone for as long as possible.
Interesting.
The way I went, so out of the 1,256,000 people that entered,
yeah,
one more time, 1,256,000, so 1.25 million people.
Right, a lot.
I went out at 3,500.
Oh man, was it accident that it slipped?
No, my hand didn't slip. There was a new mechanic introduced. So normally you're swiping, or not only do you have to keep your hand on the screen, but you've got to like move your thumb over little markers, just so you can't just, duct tape your hand, strap your phone to a charger and pass out.
Right.
So you actually attention. But the reason I went out is they had a new mechanic. The new mechanic was bombs would pop up and they would take you out.
Interesting.
And the reason the bombs took me out is because they popped up right under my finger, where I had no idea that they were, like, I couldn't see them as they popped up.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's how I went out at just past 7 hours into the challenge.
Dude, that's kind of BS. That's crappy.
Yeah, it was actually like the maddest at a video game that anybody on Twitch has probably ever seen me.
Yeah.
And like it was for a Mr. Beast challenge.
How much was like the grand prize money?
You want to take a guess?
Oh man, was it $1 million or something?
No, it wasn't $1 million. It was 100,000.
I mean, that's still a life-changing amount.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Did they announce like who won?
They probably did, but I didn't care to look.
Yeah, you're like, it's not me. It doesn't matter. Dude, that sucks.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the whole time, not one time did I think I was ever going to lose. Yeah. Like, I thought, like, man, if there's ever a challenge for me, this would be it.
You got
Staying
this.
awake for countless hours playing a meager game. But not once did I think, like, man, I'm going to love this 100,000. It was, the whole time, it was, man, I can't wait to get this 100,000 so I can help out all my friends and family and all my friends on Twitch and what I can do to help them. Like, it was never about me.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing it for all my friends and family. Because, like, and people heard me repeat it like multiple times. I'm like, the first thing I'm going to do if I win is I'm going to go and drop 100 subs in somebody's channel.
Dude, that'd be,
like,
that'd be wild.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was my plan. Like, I honestly wanted to help out like, as many people as I could. Because, I don't know, that's just the way I am.
Dude, I mean, it's not about the money, though, you know? 100%.
I wanted to help people. And I wanted to have that. Because so many people have helped me out. And I really do appreciate every single one of them. I really do. And I just wanted to give back as much as I could.
Dude, I can feel that, man. I feel the exact same way. You know, I think it's important to find those people that like really are there for that friendship, you know, and just like hold them close and don't take it for granted. 1,000% agree with that. So 100%, man. Do you kind of like see with like streaming, do you kind of have a plan for like what you want to do with streaming, what you want to do with your channel in like the next 6 to 12 months from now? Like, where do you see IceBeams 1 year from now?
Doing better, but honestly, I think partner's still about 2 years away from me. And to be honest, it's you've been growing at a crazy amount. You really have. I look at your numbers all the time. Like, I see how you're doing. I don't mention anything because I don't want to like throw you off or anything. But I look, I pay attention, and I am honestly shocked like how fast you're growing because you do such a great job. You really do. And it's so awesome to see somebody growing so fast and so new to this. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't say new, but like, it blows my mind. It really does. And it's good to see it's happening to a good person.
Well, none of it would be possible without you and like everybody there 100% supporting and just being there right from the get-go, you know. Like it's kind of been a struggle because like I'm sure all of us go through this where like you look at where you're at number wise, you try like so hard not to look at numbers, but everybody always looks at numbers, you know. You just
I don't try not to look at numbers. I look at numbers all the time.
Right, you're like, I don't want to look, but click, let me look. And then you see like other people who like maybe started after you were streaming grow bigger than you.
The trick is, what can I do to, you know, increase those numbers? And on the other hand, you also have to be like, hey, it's gonna take time. And the old saying that you hear damn near everywhere, Rome wasn't built in a day.
So true.
Like,
so
it's gonna take time. It is. I mean, obviously some people have like, your charisma is off the charts, man. It just is. You're great. People love talking with you, chatting with you. For me, I prefer to do my talking through my gameplay. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna sit there and ignore you because I'm gonna do my best to, you know, keep up the chat.
Sure.
But like, I like to show how I play. Like, that's how I am. Like,
yeah. I think everyone kind of has like a different style, you know, and everyone, I mean, I feel like most people don't know what their style is, you know, the first couple months they're starting out, but just like the more you do it, the more you just kind of figure out where on that spectrum you kind of lie. And there's not one right way to do it. There's not one wrong way to do it. It's just kind of do your own style and figure out what works best for you. 100%.
Oh, 100%. Like, there's no two people are going to be the same. Not even twins. They're not going to be the same.
Kyle and David.
They're all going to have different experiences. They all do different things.
Yep.
Everybody. So, like, even if you try to replicate somebody, like, and copy them as best you can, try to do everything the same way, it's going to have different results. I'm not going to say it's not going to work, but it's going to have different results.
Right.
It will.
Right.
So who knows? It may. And if it works for you, it works for you. But like, don't just like, and in terms of that, don't just go blatantly ripping off people, like copy like the same exact.
Right.
Get ideas from people, but do them in your own way.
Right. I mean, I think that's just what everybody should do, and maybe whether people even realize it or not, I feel like most people do subconsciously do that. They're like watching someone stream and they're like, oh, you know, the way they do that is pretty cool. What if I did something like that, you know, and just kind of take inspiration, take ideas, and just kind of throw it in your own way. I like, no joke, I do that every single day. Like every single day I raid into somebody, or every single day I'm like chilling in someone's chat, or I'm like always looking for things where I'm like, that's pretty unique. How could I maybe do something like that? And I would hope everybody would, you know, if you really want to get better every single day, I think it's really important to do that, you know, to look for inspiration from those that inspire you.
And like the inspiration, absolutely great point. But in terms of like just doing things like your own way.
Yeah.
Even if it says like for little things like channel port redemptions.
Yeah.
Like people who do like hydrate. Everybody's got hydrate. Are they all labeled the same? No, none of like, unless it's literally just hydrate. Like most people have different terms or whatnot,
or names
like,
for them, different like icons,
or you know, it's just stuff like that. Like do it your own way.
Right.
Like, because I've actually I've had experience with. It was sometime last year before I met everybody. There was somebody ripping off like just things on the internet specifically for people, and then when the people found out that he was doing that, they trashed it all because of like, we can't have this.
Yeah.
Like all you do is like recolor it. Like you can't do that. It needs to be original. Take bits and pieces from everywhere, but make something original.
Right. Like there's a difference between like an easy example would be like an emote. There's a difference between like literally copying your emote and changing the colors of it and saying it's their own versus like, right. I like the googly eyes emote. I'm gonna get my own version of that. Like
everybody has the heart emote, some form of a heart emote. Right. But they're all kind of different. Yeah, they're all different. Like they're not just like rip-offs of each other. Don't get me wrong. Like some are in the same style, but they're never the same. Right. Or at least I hope they're not.
I mean, there's only so many ways you can do a heart emote, you know. So at some point, everybody has to be like, yeah.
But on the other hand, there's also hundreds of thousands of artists who would do that heart emote differently.
Very true. You know,
it's like they may be similar, but they're not going to be the same.
Speaking of emotes, no joke, the Lappy emote was like my number 2 most used emote on my Twitch report analytic thing. Ryman was saying it's not most accurate, but I believe so, because like I think my number 1 and 2 was like the laughing one, the lull, and then the Lappy emote. Dude, that Lappy emote is like one of the best ones on Twitch. Please don't ever change it. It's like the best ever.
Never planned on it. I actually do have an emote slot that I've been looking to fill. I just haven't had an idea for it. Yeah. I've got one that I just had around for the longest time now. I should have 6 emotes, but I have 5. Yeah.
Do you have what was I gonna say? Like a specific Pokemon you kind of want to do it for?
I mean, to be honest, I've covered like most of my favorites. I've got my Piplup, I've got Empoleon, I've got Articuno. I don't have a Squirtle or Blastoise, but I feel like that falls along the lines of Piplup and Empoleon because they're both water starters. Like little things. Dude, I've got ice types like Glaceon with the hard eyes.
Dude, you could totally do like a Squirtle. You could totally do like maybe with sunglasses.
I think I had an idea for one at one point, and I really liked the idea, but I've honestly forgotten what it was.
You know what'd be cool? I've seen more and more people doing these like I just had one I created for like a bit emote. It was like a behemoth doing like cool like kind of like
finger guns.
Yeah, the finger guns, like you pretty cool over there. Dude, you could totally do Squirtle doing that with sunglasses on. Be like totally. IceBeams squad.
I remember the idea I had being super good. I don't remember what it was though, unfortunately.
Yeah. So many good ideas just kind of slip by. I feel that so much, dude. I feel like the older I get, my memory is, I'm like on stream and I'm just like, I totally forgot what I was saying 2 seconds ago. I don't know if it's like just being on stream in the moment with like people watching, but like, dude, my memory, I feel like my memory's never been worse. My memory's pretty bad.
Now, do you feel that way just like talking to people on chat, or like even with the games you're playing? Like, do you forget sometimes like that you just done something? And...
Dude, I forget so much in the games I'm playing. It doesn't help too that the game has no maps. Like Souls games have no maps at all. No, like you've already been to this area or explored here or done this. So I'm always like going back and I'm like, oh yeah, I think, yeah, we've been here before. But I mean, even outside of like streaming and stuff, yeah, I've just been noticing my memory's been slipping a lot more than usual. So probably them Washingtonian veggies, you know.
I haven't heard it described that way, but I love that description.
That's what I told King about it. I'm like, I mean, because them Washingtonian veggies, them broccoli.
Broccoli.
I'm pretty PG. You know that.
Oh yeah, and I've been trying to not. I mean, you've cursed more like in here than I have. I've really been trying to watch myself as far as that goes.
It's so funny because like outside of streaming, like I swear all the time. Like I'm pretty. You'd be surprised. Like I have a pretty vulgar mouth a lot outside of streaming.
I've met you.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah. It's
I'm like, man, if people were here, they'd be shocked at what you're saying.
They'd be like, what the beep? I've always tried to be like a little bit more, I don't want to say family friendly because my channel's 18 plus specifically for that, but like, I don't know. Just like kind of watch my mouth a little bit. Kind of like totally taking a full 180 swing. One question I have been wanting to ask you kind of as it pertains to streaming is, has there been like any specific highlight or like really big moment that during your entire time streaming, like a specific highlight that was kind of like the pinnacle of everything for you? Anything kind of jump in mind?
Nothing ridiculously crazy. I've had a really big not like a really big good moment, but like a decently big good moment. But I've also had a pretty big, not bad moment, but disturbing moment. But not like bad disturbing, more like there was one night where I picked up, I think it was like 350 follows. But
big raid?
Bots.
Dude, they're everywhere.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I was like, oh, my number's so high, and then I looked and I'm like, I don't know all of you. I've never seen you before.
Right.
Profiles, bot.
Right.
Bot.
It's like, thank you for following X72C3LMM created 2 minutes ago. Gotcha. Okay, I see what this is.
But on the other hand, it's like the good thing was, I think it was 2 years ago, I was playing a lot of MLB The Show, baseball.
Okay, yeah.
Like almost religiously. It was like my favorite thing at the time. Mm-hmm. And I got rated by a partner who played MLB. With a rate of 96. That's the biggest rate I've ever had, or anything along the lines of that. And it was just because, you know, he was a big proponent for the game. He's actually got a couple of his own like icons in the game because he is a big proponent of it on Twitch.
Cool. That's super cool.
Right, and like he's one of the 4 partners I watch. I don't typically watch partners just because, you know, they're doing what they've done what they need to do. I don't.
Yeah.
And it's hard to talk to them at that point too.
Yeah.
Like this guy is super cool. He talks to his chat. He reads every single comment. And like, dude just loves baseball. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm about that. I love sports. And super, super cool to get that huge raid. Well, what I considered huge at the time, because shoot, that is just after I got an affiliate and whatnot. And I made a lot of really great friends from that. I still like go and see those friends on Twitch all the time.
Nice.
Even though there hasn't been a baseball game in 2 years because of COVID last year. It got in the way of everything. The new one actually comes out on April 20th, which I'm super, super excited for. I will be getting that one. And you'll be seeing me on baseball a whole lot.
Nice.
The first few days are going to be real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. Well, as in terms of my sleep schedule.
Yeah, you stream a lot of, like, that's one cool thing I think about like your streams is you stream a lot of variety. Like you can play sports games one day and like Call of Duty the next day and World of Warcraft and then like Final Fantasy and then like Assassin's Creed. So I think that's really, really cool, kind of having that variety, you know?
To be honest, I mean, people, I don't see people, and I'm sure there are people out there, and anybody who is watching this, don't slay me, but there are people that are like, I don't see playing as many games as I do, like in terms of like true variety, in terms of, you know, people who just stick to RPGs or stick to platformers or shooters. Sure, they'll play different like games along that genre.
Yeah.
But like, I truly do play anything and everything. My only requirement is that I'm having fun.
You're more like genre variety versus like I'm a variety streamer, and variety is like I play Bloodborne, then Dark Souls, then Sekiro. Like it's like,
right.
I mean, sure they're different games, but
exactly.
Right.
Like, cause you see me, I have a Switch, I've got a PlayStation, I've got a PC, and you'll see me switching between all those different types of games.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. You know, it kind of keeps it keeps you engaged in different ways. It can keep like your audience engaged in different ways. I think that's pretty cool, honestly.
Honestly, there is one downside about that.
Yeah.
Is that there are people who will watch certain games and there are people who won't watch certain games.
Right. Like,
so a lot of the time when I am changing games,
they might head out.
I see a lot of people come and go because of the game I am playing.
Right.
But because I switch through so many, it's hard sometimes. And especially because I'll go through with the amount of hours that I do stream.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I'll play 2 to 3 games a night.
Yeah.
Like in the same stream.
Kind of go from like World of Warcraft to Call of Duty, and it's like,
right.
Like maybe some people like World of Warcraft and Call of Duty at the same time, but there will be some that are just like, I don't want to watch World of Warcraft, or I don't want to watch Call of Duty.
And having for a bit, I switched over to like Madden, where football is essentially just an American thing.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the world, and you know, you lose so much of the outside world just because of that.
Yeah, especially because do you usually stream? You're usually a nighttime streamer, right?
Typically, yeah.
Yeah.
Typically started like whatever time zone I am in, because I've been moving so much recently. I've been starting at midnight, and I just go until I get hungry, like extremely hungry, or you know, need some sleep.
Man,
That's what I've been doing.
It's so different thinking like, because I'm such the opposite. Like when 10 o'clock hits, I am so tired and ready for bed, and then like 5:30 a.m. comes and I'm waking up, and it's like, there's people out there still going through the night. You know, when I'm waking up, they're getting ready for their bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I've never been even a morning person. Even now, like, been waking up at the same time for an entire year. Like, still waking up at 5:30. Like, I'm awake. My body wakes up, but I'm just like, oh, I want to sleep in.
Well, I mean, that's how it is. I mean, but how do you feel like on days, like, what do you do on days that, like the weekends, where you're not streaming?
On the weekends now, I usually do sleep in a little bit, but like I'll only sleep in like an hour or so. My body still wakes up like really aggressively at 6 a.m. So I can kind of just kind of sleep, you know, that half sleep where your like eyes are closed, you're kind of zoned out, but you're not really deep asleep. I kind of do that for an hour. Because
you've been doing that for so long, does like, no matter what time you go to sleep, whether, you know, you're up later or you've gone to bed earlier, do you still like, does your body almost like force you to get up at that time now?
So we actually have salt lamps all throughout our entire place, like multiple salt lamps in every room with these like what are they, Wi-Fi things that plug into them. So we have an automation timer in our whole place that right at 6 a.m. all like 15 of our salt lamps in our whole place turn on. And so yeah, that we've had that for like a year and a half now. So that kind of extra helps me at 6 a.m. to like get up, because like all the lights pretty much turn on.
Right, you're not getting up yourself and like flipping on a switch. Like it's automatically turning on at that time every morning. Yeah, right. No, I get that helps. Yeah, and then I have my alarm on my phone that always goes off at 6 a.m. So there's like a lot of like stimuli that kind of like pushes me awake. Because yeah, otherwise I would just be like, oh man, I'd fall back asleep. But even like on Friday nights, you know, when like I sleep in Saturday, like I'll still, sometimes we'll stay up to like 11
11:30, but like even by then I'm like I'm asleep on the couch pretty much. I'm like zoning out. I just can't stay up late anymore. Like I can't even remember the last time I stayed awake till 1 a.m. It have to have been years ago. And you're like, I was awake at 1 a.m. just last night, right?
And I was, but that's not where I was gonna go with that. I don't know. I just sleep at different times now. Like my schedule is just adjusted, whether you want to say it's gone forward or gone backward, depending on the time you get up.
Yeah.
But I'm waking up at like 9 to 10 p.m. most days.
Waking up at 9 to 10 p.m. What time do you normally go to bed? Noon?
Whenever I get tired after streaming.
Yeah. do you wake up at like the same time every day? Or is it just kind of...
I just try to be up before midnight when I typically get on.
Gotcha.
It's really my only restriction at the moment.
Gotcha. Do you stream like 7 days a week typically, or like 6 or 5? Do you have like a set schedule? Every day.
Yeah.
So just kind of like off of that, have you ever thought about like not even just going hard on Twitch, but kind of like doing like YouTube or like Twitter or like any other kind of things like that?
To be honest, it don't get me wrong, it's crossed my mind. It really has. But man, I just want to sit down and have fun, play my games.
Gotcha. You're just there for the games. Games and the friends.
And the great people, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I'm not actively looking to, don't get me wrong, and branching out would be great, but it's not something I've gone out for because I have a great time on Twitch. I really do. Like, the people I've met there, the people I hang out with, I don't need another platform. Well, it wouldn't hurt to have another platform with all my stuff on it, but at that point, I would be splitting time between Twitch and that.
Right.
I'm just having such a great time on Twitch that I'll get around to that in the future.
Yeah. Do you think you'd want to do something YouTube based, or like any specific, if you were going to like start another social media platform right now and split time between it, like which one do you think you would want to do?
Probably YouTube with like montage clips of games I play and the moments I have playing those games. If anything, that would probably be it.
There's some pretty cool like clips out there and like highlight reels. Another one that a lot of people have been doing is like TikTok, where they'll take their clips and put them on TikTok. And like, I know TikTok kind of has a particular kind of, you know what I'm saying. People think of TikTok in a certain way, but the algorithm on TikTok and on YouTube, both the algorithms on both of them are like insane. And those are like probably the only two real platforms you can be on and post something and have it be like really go viral, and really blow up. So yeah, I would say if you want to do like clips and stuff, I would maybe say check out TikTok. It's a pretty fun platform, honestly. And not everyone's doing dances on there.
No, right. But the other side of that is,
you want to.
I don't have much experience in like video editing. Is another reason why I haven't gone to do stuff like highlight reels and like clips of me doing whatever.
Yeah, I mean, so
it's to a degree, it's just lack of experience.
Yeah, I mean, can always learn, right? Can always kind of give a shot.
Of course. Again, having a great time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's like there's some great editing software recently that I've like really kind of come to know. There's one called like DaVinci Resolve, which is like really high quality, has a lot of the same stuff like the Adobe Suite has for editing, and there's a lot of like pretty cool tutorials and stuff online from it. The only reason I bring this up is just because I know you do go pretty hardcore at Twitch, so I was just wondering if like you have any plans of doing a YouTube or Twitter or anything else like that. So
I do, I just don't know when.
I'm excited for when you do, man. I think it's really important to like set goals for yourself and kind of set like short-term goals, medium goals, long-term goals, for like a couple months, like a year, like multiple years. And when you give yourself a date, like I have plenty of dates in my mind, like when this day happens, I have to do this. I'm gonna make myself do this. But I think when you have that date set, it kind of pushes you a little bit harder, So I've definitely been feeling that for sure, especially with like podcasting. Like I feel now so more than ever, I have so many things I'm doing and want to do, and I just truly feel like I have like never any time to sleep, or I mean, not to sleep. Like I still get like 8 hours of sleep, but like, ooh, some of these people do like YouTube and Twitch and are on Twitter and do all this. I'm just like, I have no idea how y'all do it. Like my mind is blown.
The bigger people, they have people to help them out with the other medias.
Right.
Like they pay people to help them out. Like, hey, here's my video footage from last night. Put together some sort of highlight reel or montage clip reel, stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of the like really big ones do, but like those kind of, I don't know, like medium big streamers, the ones that are probably in that like 100 view to like 500 view kind of area.
Yeah.
A lot of them do like literally everything themselves, with maybe a rare exception, like mods, of course, on Twitch, but like they do a lot. It's pretty insane.
And I feel like at that point you're spreading yourself too far thin. But that's just my comment.
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, a lot of people can get that way, you know, especially if you're just starting out and you're like, you know, I want to have a Twitch and a TikTok and a Twitter and a YouTube and a Facebook, and you're just like doing everything. I think it's a really good idea to pick like one long form type of media that you want to do really well, like Twitch or YouTube, and then have like another shorter form one like TikTok or Twitter, you know, that you kind of focus on. But like one long term, one short term, learn them both, get the best out of them, and then kind of add on to that, you know?
Yeah.
Twitch has been awesome, man. Like seriously, I'd never even heard about Twitch. Like even if you click on my username ZephyrsXP, it'll say I created my account, I think like March 22nd, and like 2 days later I started streaming. So
yeah, you're just after, or you're just over a year now, huh?
Just hit a year. Yeah, last Wednesday I think we did our like 1 year Twitch anniversary stream, which was pretty crazy. But it's been a crazy year. I had plans of streaming like before COVID happened, but once COVID happened, as I'm sure like a lot of people did, everything just kind of like super accelerated, you know?
Yeah.
It's been a weird year, man. It's been super weird.
Yeah, it's been one of the strangest years that anybody has ever had, because we've never gone through something like this. Not our generation, not anything close to this. I mean, the closest thing to this was what? The bubonic plague?
Right, like 100 years ago or something.
No, it was longer than that. It was like the 1600s, right?
Oh, the like really bad one? Yeah, that killed like a third of the world or something. Right.
Yeah,
that one was super. Yeah. I mean, there was a, I think it was called the Black Plague, or maybe it was the Spanish flu, but there was one like 100 years ago, like early 1900s.
Yeah. Sorry, the other name for it that's probably right. It's the Black Plague. The bubonic, it's the reason why it's referred to as the bubonic plague was because it was being carried by rats.
Right. Is that the one where they had those like beak masks and they'd put like incense or something in the beaks so like they wouldn't breathe in the...
I want to say yes, but I don't know enough about it to confirm that.
Gotcha.
I want to say yes, though. If anybody would know about that, it'd probably be Chief.
Dude, Chief Little Paw he's brilliant. Chief Little Paw is amazing. Shout out to Chief Little Paw. Love you to pieces, man. You're amazing. Here's another one I've been wanting to ask you. I kind of know where it might go, but if you could meet any creator or streamer, who would you want to meet and why?
Yo,
you already met me, so you can't say me.
That's a big question. You know what? I don't think I've ever really thought about that, because there's not really anybody on Twitch that I like, quote unquote, idolize.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're all just normal dudes and people,
like
right?
People with good content that, even if they... All right, so this is... All right, I actually just thought of one, and I don't think he's anybody, particularly special, but he is kind of big in the niche thing that he does. Mm-hmm. There's an airsoft player from, I think, Sweden or Poland. His name is Silo.
Airsoft?
Yeah, airsoft. So like, simulated combat with tiny plastic pellets.
Oh yeah, like the guns, like the airsoft guns.
Yeah,
What?
absolutely.
I used to have those.
Yeah, I still
those.
do that from time to time.
Okay, is it like a game or like how does it work?
Yeah. Well, I mean, people like they reenact or like they play game modes like they would like you would on Call of Duty.
Okay.
Only in person rather than in game.
Gotcha. Very interesting.
Like, people bring their own equipment, their own gear.
To like warehouses and stuff, and
yeah, but like the reason I like this guy so much is because he uses a sniper rifle. I'm all about the long range.
Hell
but
yeah.
He's got like 5 different cameras. He's got one on his back. He's got one on his head. He's got one on his chest. He's got 2 on his gun, one facing forward, one facing back, and he's also got one that goes through his scope.
What?
So like it's really cool to see all those points of view like going through it, like as he's traversing lands and going through bushes and over trees. Like it's like a style of play that I like, and it's cool seeing that in person rather than in a game.
Dude, that is super cool. Like I've never heard of anything like that before. I'm immediately intrigued. Dude, I used to play airsoft all the time. Did you ever have like the airsoft machine gun one?
I have a full auto airsoft rifle, yeah.
Dude. We got to play airsoft when you come to Washington next, man. We're gonna make a day out of it. Actually, you're probably right. I'll probably get headshot every second. Probably not a good thing. So I guess kind of taking more on like streaming side, do you think there's something that has helped you the most since you started streaming?
A positive attitude.
Positive attitude.
Don't get me wrong. People love like the rage reactions from people.
Yeah.
But like in terms of being all right, be like, hey, I didn't get as many followers this day as I have that one day. But there are reasons for everything. Like you can't control other people. Like you just you have to roll with the cards you're dealt. You really do. And I think it's trivial to get upset about something like that when you have all the numbers in front of you. There are ways and absolutely hundreds of thousands of people to take inspiration from. You can't let the small things get to you. You gotta just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, keep working. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if you can find ways to improve, by all means, like, do it. And if by chance you try something that doesn't work, don't get all upset about it. Take it out, go back, research development, and like try something new. Like it's all about attitude. It really is.
Dude, I love that. I agree 100% with that. One thing, when I was talking to Zach kind of about something like that, is he was saying like one of the best things like helped him a lot was just the attitude of just like, don't overthink it, just do it. Literally, if you have an idea, if you want to start streaming, just do it regardless of the equipment you have or whatever you're playing. Like just start doing it and get a little bit better every single day. But like you can't get better if you're not starting,
Exactly. You gotta. Here's a pretty big sports analogy. Michael Jordan once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Yes,
right. I'm absolutely sure everybody's heard of that.
Yes, right when you said sports analogy, I'm like, I immediately know what this quote is gonna be because it's such a good quote. It's so true.
It is.
And I think having that positive attitude with it can totally be like a game changer. Because if you go into it with a negative attitude or like just wanting to make content or like do streaming and stuff just for money or just for fame, like you're probably going to be very disappointed.
The reason I started Twitch is I just want to have fun and I want to show people like what I'm doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Fun is that's my biggest motivator.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I just want to have fun. That's all I want to do. I want to have fun, be happy.
Have fun and be happy, And I think have like good community, good friends. But yeah.
Well, that falls in with fun. And, yeah.
No, 100%. And I think it's really easy on just any kind of content creation platform to really get caught up with numbers, and just don't let it get to you. Every journey is different. Everybody's mountain they climb is different, and the only thing is just what you have in front of you. And just try to make the best of it, going with that positive attitude, and take it day by day, right?
Every day.
Every
single day.
Every single day. Just do it. Make your dreams come true.
You know what it's like to stream every day?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, so what I would say with like daily streaming, I would probably say I personally wouldn't recommend most people to do it, because I think it can be very easy to get burnt out from it. And I think
No, I'm sorry. When I said every day, I meant more along the lines of have that positive attitude going forward each day.
100%.
Because I was just using the example of you used to stream every day.
Yeah.
I try to stream every day.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people it works. For some people, unfortunately, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the only thing I would say, like, actually one thing I would say with streaming is like, if you want to jump into streaming, or like any kind of habit you want to build in life, I think it actually is a good idea to do it every single day for a limited time, maybe for like 2 to 4 weeks, to kind of build that habit. Because I don't think I would have been as comfortable with streaming as I like currently am had I not daily streamed for so long. Because like every single day I was just figuring out OBS more, figuring out how to stream, figuring out all the Twitch stuff, and just every single day doing it time after time after time, you like kind of start to learn all of that. And I think I definitely went way too far. I did 160 days in a row. I absolutely do not recommend anybody to do that. But yeah, do it for like 2 to 4 weeks, kind of get that habit built, and then kind of create like a good schedule from there. I would personally say. Kind of on that, is there one solid piece of advice, if you could go back in time and give to your day one streaming self, you would tell yourself?
All right, so there's a way I want to phrase this, but I want to phrase it a certain way. But I don't think it's going to come out that way.
No, you're good. Totally take your time, Ice.
There's you just gotta take your time, and whether, because not in terms of like how many days you stream or like the amount of hours you stream, because I stream every day for long periods of time.
Yeah.
But like when I say take your time, is again, you don't need to rush. If you truly do work at it and you care about it, like me and you work and care about Twitch,
yeah,
it's going to happen. It will.
Mm-hmm. But
you can't let it get to you. And at times it did, before I discovered this mentality that I currently have. It's things are gonna be all right, and there are gonna be jerks out there. There are gonna be fantastic people. Hopefully, you figure out who's who as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, there are people who, things have happened that, I'm not too fond of, but that doesn't mean it's gonna stop me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what it was, but there was a reason. I didn't stream at all last March. I didn't start streaming until April. Because of something that happened. But eventually I got over it, and we're here, we're working, and you really just take your time. Like it's going to happen. If you care about it, it'll happen. Take your time.
Take your time. And I think also, keep in mind of your individual journey, and try so hard. It's so hard to do, but try so hard to not compare your journey to someone else's. Because like we talked about earlier, like every single person is different. Even if everyone copies the exact same formula and implement it, everyone's journey is going to be different,
Right.
Take your time and have fun with it. I think that I love that so much. I feel so many people get caught up in the money or the numbers or the viewers or like whatever, and like at the end of it, just like have fun,
Just want to be fun. I just want to be happy.
Totally.
I'm happy having fun.
I'm happy having fun. Dude, that should be on a t-shirt. So here is kind of a little bit of a wrap-up question. For the final question, what is a question that I did not ask you that you would have asked yourself?
Probably something along the lines of, I don't know, is there a game I'm looking forward to, or maybe like a particular event that's coming up? And not that I have one in mind, but I mean, actually, the game we already touched on it, but the most recent one that's about to come out is going to be MLB The Show 21.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
20, whatever it is, because they skipped last year. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for the new baseball season. Being a huge sports fan myself.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I haven't really ever. My dad actually did buy me. I think it was like NBA 2K, like 2007. I think one of those ones that had Kevin Garnett on the cover, because I loved the Boston Celtics growing up, dude. Yeah. I love KG. I love the Celtics, and yeah, I played it for a little bit. It was pretty fun. I've never really been like super big into sports outside of like basketball. Like basketball, I'm super familiar with, but yeah, I never got into football or anything.
My feelings on basketball and hockey. Well, basketball was, I used to like basketball, and then the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah, went to Oklahoma.
And then we've never had a hockey team in Seattle until next year, actually.
Yeah, there's one coming to Seattle, right?
They already have jerseys. The arena's already built. They're just putting pieces in the final places now. Are you gonna? Do you know what the name of the team is?
I think you might have told me. Once you tell me, I know I'm gonna instantly remember.
Seattle Krakens.
Yes, the Krakens. Yes.
I'm so excited for hockey.
Hell yeah. You already got a jersey?
No, not yet. But the most recent jersey I've gotten was a Shoresy jersey. If you know Letterkenny or anything about it, you'll be like, oh my god. But no, but you know, after hearing that you told me that there is a new God of War coming out, I'm like, after we get off here, I'm gonna go look into that.
Like type it up on the Google.
Oh man, it's gonna be on my screen so fast once you get on.
They posted that they were working on it, and I swear they announced something that they were looking to release it in 21.
I completely spaced. The new Pokemon Snap.
Oh yeah.
That is the first one on the N64. Was so good. I had such a great time with it. Such a great, calming, relaxing game. And then to go along with Pokemon Snap, we got Pokemon Legends, I think it's called. I forget.
Is that the remake?
No, that's the new style of game that they're making.
Oh, is that the open world one?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, those are coming soon.
Oh man, what is that going to be like? An open world Pokemon game? Oh my god.
I mean, to a degree, they kind of have that in Sword and Shield. To a degree, but it's not entirely that. There's some old school stuff in there as well.
Dude, what if they took like Breath of the Wild and just threw Pokemon in it?
That would be wild. That'd be pretty wild. But like the fact that like on the old Pokemon Snap game, there was only 150 Pokemon to take pictures of.
Yeah.
Now you have 830 whatever.
Dude, there's
so many possibilities. Because I've also heard things about like you have to get pictures of them in like 4 different stances.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like to complete whatever. Like you need like a happy, you need like a jumping or whatever they do. I don't know exactly what it is. I really don't. But I'm just like, it's gonna be so much content that's gonna take me so long because I beat the other one pretty fast.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's something I am really, really looking forward to on Switch.
Dude, hell yeah! Pokemon always for the win. Pokemon is just such a classic. So good. So I guess final question essentially for you, Ice. Where can all of our listeners, all of our viewers, everybody here, where can they connect with you online?
So typically I don't really have much social media and I don't portray it that way, but you can find me at IceBeams on Twitch, of course. And the one place where I don't turn off notifications that you can always reach me at is in my Discord. Or tag me in the Fireside Discord if you know what that is and are aware of it, which I'm sure most of the people watching this at the time will know what that is. So like if you ever tag me in something, I will absolutely see it on Discord. Like that is the best place.
And we'll have links for all of that down in the descriptions below. So absolutely be sure to check out IceBeams there. Be sure to check out the Fireside Community Discord with a ton of incredible streamers there. Dude, IceBeams, It has been so much fun having you on the podcast, my man. Thank you seriously so incredibly much for taking time out of your day to come hang out and chat about games, streaming, just whatever pops into our mind.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely. You really are a really good friend of mine, and I do appreciate everything you do, everything you have done. And you know what? This is like getting off this time is actually perfect because I got stream starting up in about 40 minutes.
I gotta start kind of getting ready for bed because I have like a pretty long stream tomorrow, and it's gonna be intense. And
I'll still be going when you get up.
Yeah, I already got like pretty much everything set up, so I think I just gotta hit go. But I've never done it. We're gonna be doing a 12-hour charity stream for St. Jude, playing Final Fantasy X. So I haven't played Final Fantasy X in like
10. You say?
Yeah, 10 in a long time. I haven't played in 10. I know you love 10. 10 is such a good game. I was thinking of between 10 or 6, but like I haven't played 10 in so long, and I kind of was like, for my constant chatting would probably be a good idea if I had like a game that talked for me, you know?
Something that's turn-based. You don't want something too new that doesn't have the turn-based like 12.
Right. I actually really liked 12 a lot. I think 12 is super underrated.
I'm one of the people that like 12.
Yeah.
But in terms of like being able to talk with chat and stuff, like turn-based fighting is probably going to be the way you want to go with that. So I think honestly 10 was a great choice.
Hell yeah. I'm super excited for it.
I'll be there. I guarantee you I'll be there.
Woo. But with that, I think we're going to wrap up this episode of the Zephcast. Once again, thank you so incredibly much, IceBeams, for hanging out, for chatting. Thank you, everybody, for listening, for being here for this. And we will catch you all in next week's episode. Have an amazing rest of your day, my friend. Much love.
Bye. Have a good night.